Hi, Bob Thompson for Smartphone Matters. Today we're going to talk about the SpeedTest app. If you read articles or look at the videos on Smartphone Matters, a lot of times you see that I reference the SpeedTest app or I reference SpeedTest results. Recently, I've had several readers ask me what exactly is SpeedTest. So I thought I'd make this video and explain. SpeedTest is an app for your smartphone, and it lets you measure the speed or performance of your internet or cellular data connection. These speed measurements can be useful for a number of different reasons. Some examples. Maybe you think your internet connection is slow. You're watching videos on YouTube or Netflix on your phone, you're posting photos to Facebook or Instagram, and things are taking a long time. Well, you can run speed test, look at the results, and then you can figure out whether or not your cellular data connection is actually slow or something else is causing a performance problem. Another reason is that you might want to compare the internet performance when you switch wireless providers. So suppose you were using AT&T and you want to switch to Straight Talk. I usually tell readers, run speed test while you're on AT&T wireless first, and then run it again after you switch to Straight Talk. And then you can compare the results and see whether or not your internet connection is faster, the same, or slower. And then you can make a decision about whether or not you're getting enough value for the money that you're paying. Another reason is you might think that your data connection is throttled and you want to see what kind of speeds you're really getting. So many of these prepaid wireless plans offer unlimited data, but the high-speed data is usually capped. That means that after you've downloaded a certain amount of data, your wireless provider will throttle your data connection. They'll intentionally slow it down, and you can confirm this by running speed test and then see that your data connection has really gotten extremely slow. I also recommend that people might want to look at the speed test results when they do a software update. For some reason, a number of users of prepaid wireless services tell me that after they update their phone to new software or new carrier profiles, data gets very slow. So I usually tell people, run speed test before you do any software updates and then run it after, and then you'll have some numbers that you can do a comparison on to see whether or not it really did in fact get slower. Finally, maybe you just want to compare wireless networks. You might be using AT&T, your friend might be using Verizon, somebody else you know might be using Sprint. You can ask people to install the speed test app on their phone and then run it, and then you compare the results among each other. And I usually find that when you do this with people, they really like to see which network is the fastest in their area. All right, so let's take a look at the app. So the actual name of the app is speedtest.net Mobile Speed Test by Ookla, and it's available in the Apple App Store. And you can see I have it installed, and I'm not going to uninstall it and reinstall it here because I want to keep the results that it has saved. You know, it's an easy to use app, and one of the things that I like about it is it's also available on Android in the Google Play Store, also available on Windows Phone in, I don't know what they call it, the Windows Store or whatever. Okay, let's run speed test here and we'll take a look at the app. All right, so here's the icon. I'll tap on the app, and then when you run speed test, it'll measure the speed of whatever kind of internet connection you have. You want to make sure that your Wi-Fi is off if you want to measure the speed of your cellular data connection. So you can see that I have an LTE connection up here, not a Wi-Fi connection, and that's a good thing. Otherwise, the app would measure the speed of your Wi-Fi connection. Tap the button to begin the test. And we'll see down here it'll display a little message of where the server I connected to is, and that's in Somerville, Mass, and that's good because I'm in the Boston area. You can see after the test runs that the results are displayed across the top, but there's also this button results down here, and that will take you to a list of all the results from previously run tests. You can see that the test results are displayed in this table, and then there's 5 columns. There's a type, time, download, upload, and ping. The type is the type of data connection you had. You can see for these last 3 tests, this symbol is a cellular data connection. And then this 4th test down here, that is a Wi-Fi connection. And then there's the time and date that the test was run, and then the test results. So let's take a look at the results of this last test that I just run. One of the things that I like to do is you can actually sort the results by tapping on the column heads, and I like to sort it by time with the most recently test displayed first. And I think that's the default on the iPhone, and for some reason I think on the Android phones it defaults to time but sorted in the opposite way. You might want to check that when you're looking at the results. Like I said, there's the type of connection, a cellular connection, the time and date, and then the download speed. So the download speed is the measure of how fast data comes from the internet down into your phone, and that's measured in megabits per second, or Mbps. A higher number is better. So we measured 1.74 megabits per second. Download speed, you want to see that higher if you're doing things like listening to streaming audio or watching video on Netflix or YouTube on your phone. A higher number is better because it means that's the less chance that there'll be stuttering or dropout or pauses. The upload speed is a measure how fast data goes from your phone to the internet. It's also measured in megabits per second, or Mbps, and in this case we measured 0.49 megabits per second. Upload speed is important for doing things like posting photos or videos to the internet. The same thing with sending emails and messages, but photos and videos are much bigger, so they take more time to send, so you want to see a high upload speed. And then finally, there's the ping time. The ping time is measured in milliseconds. That's 1/1000th of a second. The lower the number for the ping time is the measure of time it takes to get a response to a request. So your phone asks for a piece of information, and then it waits some period of time before the very first piece of data comes back, is what ping is measuring. This is known as a measure of latency. The lower the time, the better. It means things are responding faster. If that number is really high, everything you do on the internet is going to seem like there's an initial lag. As far as my test results, well, these are pretty low. It's about 3:30 here in the Boston area, and it could just be that the network is getting busy. You can see at 3 o'clock I previously ran a test while making this video, and I was getting much higher speeds down and up. And you can scroll through the list of different results, and these tests here were run at different locations in my area, and you can see I had some very, very high speeds in other areas, but here in my office at this time of the day my speeds are currently pretty low. You can also tap on the results of each of the tests, and it will give you some more information about the test results, including the where the server was that you connected to, GPS coordinates of where you ran the test from. Now the app has a lot of other features that I'm not going to go over right now. These are the features primarily that I use for doing things on Smartphone Matters, so I thought I would just share them with you. The app is free. Alright, I think that's it for now. If you found this video useful, give us a like on YouTube. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave them on the YouTube comments, or you can follow the link in the video description over to the companion article on Smartphone Matters. Read the article, leave your comments and questions there too. Thanks for watching.